This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
And welcome back, everybody. Many of us have goals or we have challenges when it comes to our health. Some of us looking to lose weight, especially as we get into the new year. Some of us dealing with chronic pain. I've had a shoulder, same situation for 2 years. Physical therapy hasn't helped it. Some of us, or maybe some that we know, dealing with cognitive disorders. Imagine if there was a treatment that could handle all of that at the same time. I mean, let's think about it. You want to lose some weight, but you're also having, it actually describes me. I want to lose 20 pounds. And let's say you have some chronic pain. Imagine if you could address all of those, find comfort, find results, potentially find healing, but that treatment all takes place at the same time. It's called red light therapy. It's been scientifically proven. It's been around for years. I've got somebody who's got the insight on that. He's got an amazing clinic located in West Palm Beach, Florida, and he's back with us. We're going to dig deep into this with Ritter today on the program. How are you doing today?
Doing well, Steve. Yourself?
Good, except for the shoulder. It's all good.
Yeah. Well, I'm in paradise right now. This time of the year is absolutely gorgeous down here.
We shared previously, I've got friends that moved from New York to right around where you are, West Palm, Royal Palm Beach.
Right.
I've got a friend up in Ocala, and they all say the same thing. This is perfect, 70s, touching 80, not too hot, doesn't get too cool at night. You had a couple of cool nights here, but the difference in Florida is, it's going to warm up.
Yes.
Here in New York, it could be warmer today. It is actually 47. In another couple of days, it'll be down to 33. But all good. Paradise. Well, it feels like paradise when you're on your game when it comes to your health. We've talked about red light therapy before, and I've always wondered if you can do in one treatment attacking multiple issues, but apparently you can, right?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I mean, I have different packages at the clinic, and many people, especially our age and older, have, as you said, would like to lose some weight. We've all, well, not all. Some of us have abused our bodies and have these chronic pains from, trying to be Superman when we were younger. And then there's also many of us, even younger, who have parents who are struggling, or relatives, grandparents that are struggling with a cognitive disorder,
Sure.
Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, dementia. And, they would maybe like to be preventative in their treatment of that. I mean, we do all sorts of other preventative things for ourselves, wellness checkups and things like that. And I think something like preventative for cognitive disorders is going to start building some steam, because it's not getting less, it's getting more prevalent, I think, in the US.
Sure.
And,
Well,
as you said,
especially with an aging population,
right.
and that's the highest segment, if I saw it correctly, is 50 plus. That's the highest number of people in our country. Stands to reason, as you get older, some of these cognitive challenges come up.
Exactly. I mean, we all, even when, we're in our 40s, we can remember losing our keys, or not remembering where we put something, or walking into a room and going, why did I walk into this room? Whether that's just, happenstance or the precursor to something down the road. If you have relatives, especially direct relatives, who have had struggles in that area, it's going to make you think more.
How is
About
this actually done when somebody comes in? And let's center on, and I want to get back to the preventative. Never
Okay.
realized that. Let's say somebody comes in, and so many people are on GLP-1s,
Right.
medication to lose weight. Whether they are or not, they come in, they have a goal of losing weight. They also have some pain here. Maybe it's a knee, shoulder, whatever it might be. How do you address both of those with red light therapy in one session?
Well, different systems. We have a bar system, if you will, that we can snap together, and we can, depending on the girth of someone, what area they're looking to lose, we can cover one or two strips over that area. And then we have a pad system, which is basically like neoprene. The lights are embedded into neoprene,
Hmm.
like a wetsuit. And so they're flexible. And so at the same time, someone, say, is laying on their back, getting some weight loss, red light therapy on their stomach. They have a bad shoulder. We could put it under their shoulder, over their shoulder. We also have, we can also do the skin rejuvenation at that same time.
We didn't even hit upon that yet.
Right. Well, I
Wow.
think that's probably the most widely, well, that and for pain, I think that people know red light is for.
Sure.
But, it's there's different systems that I have that can do the different things. But like I said, I've had people buy packages where they buy the weight loss, and then they buy some of the pain pads, because I have six of those. And as long as someone doesn't need a complete body pain treatment, I can share that amongst two patients, you know?
And we're talking about professional grade red light therapy here. This, I just want to get this out of the way
Yeah,
that
yeah. Yes,
somebody not
exactly.
to think you go on Amazon, wherever,
Exactly.
and hey, let me get that done. I'm just going to buy some of those. You don't know what you're getting. They could just be just regular red LEDs, and now you're paying for that, and it's going to do absolutely nothing. This is the stuff that's been designed, tested. It's got the certain wavelengths to attack, the issues that you want to
Exactly.
achieve.
Right, right. And one of the things that the pain pads, it's a system called Inlight. I mean, just an example for I guess you get what you pay for kind of thing.
Sure.
My systems cost over $30,000 combined.
Yep.
You go on Amazon, you can buy things for a couple hundred,
Yeah.
up to up to maybe 1,000 for like an entire blanket kind of thing. So, you got to take it with a grain of salt. Exactly like you said, exactly how effective is it going to be? I'm not saying it's not going to be effective at all. If it is truly, red and near infrared lights, they will still, have some beneficial application to the body. I'm not going to poo-poo all those things. I mean, I have some
But
of
you
the
never
more
know what you're
inexpensive.
buying. You don't know what
That's
you
true.
have no idea that you could find something for under $100. I'm going to use that on my face. Yeah, I don't need Rick. But
Right.
yeah,
Well, the
like
good thing
s-
is I'm also a dealer in at least the Inlight pad. So I have sold
oh,
them to people who have seen the relief,
well,
even someone like if I can remember, I don't know if you could send me your email. When you send me the email we discussed,
mhm.
I'll send you some of the podcasts with the woman who has Alzheimer's.
Wow.
And I want to say has Alzheimer's. And she tells you how she has, with the red light therapy, she purchased her own machine after doing therapy with these ladies that I trained under. Um, and she treats herself 3 times a day. And she will tell you that I can't do everything I did years ago, but I can do more than I could do 6 months ago.
Yep.
So
Amazing.
it's literally regressing her Alzheimer's. And with the same protocol, I guess, that we use to start to dissolve the amyloid plaque also can be used to prevent the formation of that plaque. So, we do preventative screenings, colonoscopies, all these things for other parts of our body. If you have that in your, history of your family and you're worried about it, that's something that you could look into. And it's just light and sound. That's the thing that just blows me away is light and sound. No drugs, no side effects, no invasive procedures. It's crazy.
When you say sound, like we're talking about red light
Yeah.
therapy, where does the sound part come in?
Well, there's three parts to the cognitive disorder treatment. One is a red light helmet, basically the pads that I use for the in-light pain reduction, but formed into a helmet. Then there is a 40 hertz blinking light bulb that we put on in the room, and they kind of look at a wall or look at the ceiling. And at the same time, there's an earbud also at 40 hertz. So the earbud, the light
Ah,
bulb synchronize. So that's what your brain is hearing. That's what's going into into your brain. That and the three of them. I mean, I still don't know exactly how it happens, but it works. It dissolves the plaque in the brain.
I wasn't aware that sound was involved
Mhm.
with the red light therapy, but I've studied this. I'm big into audio, have been since I was a kid. So
Right.
it fascinates me. But there you can get sound healing. Yeah, not even
Yes.
if we're not even looking at the cognitive disorder aspect of it, but just feeling better, feeling healthier. You can go to a sound bath where they play
Right.
certain music, where they could be playing bowls and cymbals and certain sounds that
Exactly.
generate a certain frequency, i.e., vibration, and that can have therapeutic healing properties to it. And let's reset this for anybody that's hearing this now and thinking, okay, these guys just went off the rails. This is getting a little woo here.
Right.
Music has been around since we've been around. We've
Yes.
made music, whether it's banging two rocks back in, cave people time. Why do we listen to music? Because we want a certain result from it, whether you want to feel nostalgic, energetic, going to
Calm.
the gym, working out, all different reasons. It's the same exact thing. Music is a vibration. It is a sound. The 40 hertz that you just talked about, listen to any song. The bass in those songs is, probably in the 40 to 60 hertz range. It's all there. So it makes perfect sense. And wow, beautiful combination. I had no idea that the red light therapy
Right.
that for cognitive disorders.
And I don't know if you've delved into sound too much enough to have heard about the solfeggio and nogier.
You mean this post-it note here with the frequencies of different
There you go.
sounds? Oh, you can Google
Exactly.
that. You can find on YouTube those different
Those are
sounds.
actually piped through our pain pads.
Wow.
It
Mm,
actually goes through the light into your body, and we can choose. So we have one where it goes through all the solfeggio, one that goes through the nogier. We can specify certain frequencies that deal like frequency number five is mu muscular skeletal. Frequency number two is more inflammation.
sure.
And it's crazy because as I've studied this and I've done hours and hours of training on this, every cell in our body vibrates at a certain frequency. Every organ in our body vibrates at a certain frequency, different frequencies.
Sure.
And when one they have an illustration of I don't know, about 100 metronomes, and they show one metronome that's out of sync. And it can affect the other metronomes around it. But once it gets back into sync, everyone else comes back into sync. That's how our body gets balanced. So when you have that one thing in one area of your body, yes, it can be treated with just sound. Now, sound may not be the only thing you need, but that is one way to reset the frequencies of your body.
It's a great point and illustration you bring up here because when we get ill, we have issues, chronic challenges. It's usually because our body is out of balance,
Exactly.
maybe out of vibration. One area is not vibrating the same. By the way, everything has a vibration. This
Yes.
pen has a vibration. The chair you're sitting on has a certain vibration. Everything is vibrating. All we can't see it, but it's
Right.
vibrating. And if you even want to check out what we're talking about here, just Google to find those different frequencies. 528 hertz, by the way, said to be the frequency of love. So if you want to have just an uplifting, positive feel, listen to that. What's really cool is there's a lot of musicians out there that use that as a baseline frequency, say it's 528 hertz, and put
Right.
music around it. So it sounds melodic, but at the same time, you're hearing that
Very
whatever
interesting.
frequency it is.
Right. Cool. Yeah. I
It
mean,
really is.
yeah, it's amazing how, I mean, just how someone, and I bet you a lot of this was discovered in the making and the writing of music way back when all of a sudden this guy's doing this with this free, and all of a sudden, a pain went away, or something happened and they've just finally put two and two together and said, okay, let me try this with somebody else, maybe. I don't know.
I never thought of that, but it always makes me wonder where this came from. How did we decide? And it probably was from, like you said, by accident. Somebody started banging on some rocks, bowls, or whatever. And like you said, but I feel better. Maybe back then we were open to anything. So it was like, that must have been what I was just doing here, banging on this thing.
Right, right, exactly.
Wow. Yeah, the preemptive thing, we didn't talk about previously, but makes total sense, especially if something runs in your family, right?
Yeah. I
Mm,
mean, I haven't done the research to find out to what extent that can actually carry over from generation to generation, but I've heard that it can.
mm.
So, like I said, if your grandparents, my grandmother had it. My parents died young, so they didn't get a chance to develop it, 64 and 74. But I've had other family members that have dealt with it. Cousins,
Thank you for saying
aunts.
64 was young.
That's my age, brother. If I get to 65, I pass my dad's death date, and I just got to worry about my mom's at 74.
My dad passed when I was much younger and when I passed his age. And I got to tell you, I was getting a little apprehensive as it was getting
Yeah,
closer. And he was healthy and dropped from a heart attack out of nowhere. So as I got closer to that age, I'm like, all right, well, okay. And then, past it, I'm like, all right, good. Go to the doctor and all of that. Tell us about a session. Somebody goes in there. Let's focus on, let's say, weight loss, pain management. What does a session look like?
well, an initial session obviously takes longer because we sit down with them and we talk about how they live their life now,
Sure.
what they do to, what they've done maybe to, and in the case of weight, what they've done previously to try to lose weight, what their exercise regimen is, what their goals are, obviously, what their diet consists of, and things like that. So we try to get into how they're living their life, and
Yep.
then try to we will treat them obviously for with the red light therapy for weight loss, and then we sit down and say, okay, now at this point, your body, all these fat cells are now open for the next 24 hours. So
Mm.
don't go out and eat a McDonald's lunch and dinner. Try to eat lean, healthy protein, drink a lot of water, and flush a lot of the fat that's still in your bloodstream out so it doesn't get reabsorbed back into your fat cells, and you basically got to go back to square one, so to speak. And basically then we also ask them about any chronic pain they have. Do you have any issues? I have I guess what would be considered our star pupil, um, only after I think it was 5 red light therapy sessions. Now, remember, the red light therapy session is about 15 minutes on the device, on the red light therapy machine, and then 10 minutes on a body vibration plate, which helps drain the fat from your lymphatic system, which naturally absorbs it once it gets into your bloodstream. Okay, so 5 of those sessions, which is an hour and 15 minutes total of red light therapy, she lost close to 3 inches
Wow.
on her abdomen. And we're treating her chronic left shoulder for the pain. And on the very first treatment, I came out and I said, well, how does your shoulder feel? She goes, oh, better than it did. you know?
Amazing. I had no idea it was at 15 minutes. That's
Yeah.
it.
I mean,
Wow.
I notice it, but I damaged my rotator cuff, what, 20 years ago almost. Never had surgery, just did my own rehab with swimming and some basic exercises. And I got like 85 to 90% of my motion back. But when I go to every day when I go to work, or 3 days a week when I go work out at the gym, it hurts when I'm working out. So
Yep.
I'll go and I'll put the pad on and it reduces the pain. Now, whether it's going to break up all that scar tissue and stuff that's in there, remains to be seen. But I also don't do it as much as I probably should, considering I own the device.
Wait, it's like like the carpenter who does everybody's house, and then when you
Yeah.
go to his home, the crown molding is hanging off the ceiling because he doesn't
Yeah.
take care of it
Same with
on
the
his own.
plumber or the electrician.
Yeah, the lights don't work and all that. You mentioned the lymphatic system, and I didn't know that red light therapy also addresses that. That is such an important system in our body to flush out toxins, but it's never really talked about. So important.
Yeah, I'm not sure how it affects the lymphatic system. I just know that the lymphatic system, as in my training, that it absorbs that fat. Okay, so to release that fat from the body, you either need to jog, work out, bunch of jumping jacks, or the easiest thing for most people is stand on a vibration plate for 10 minutes after the session. And then we give them plenty of water. We say, continue to drink water, go to the bathroom as much as you can, flush that system out, and just for 24 hours, be cognizant of what you're eating, you know, and hopefully after, 10, 9, 10, 12 sessions, they also may reset their thought process about eating
Sure.
and start eating healthier. Because I mean, no one wants you to just throw away money.
Well, but back to the lymphatic system and older folks, that there's not, the heart is your pumps the blood. We got that. But there's nothing that pumps the lymphatic system. The only thing that pumps that fluid through your body at all times is movement.
Yeah.
And seniors don't really move the way they used to. So now you have buildups. That's why you have a lot of seniors on diuretics to try and flush things out and all of that. So definitely, once again, see the value in red light therapy for getting rid of that.
Well, like I said, I don't want to say that it actually drains the lymphatic system.
But it supports it. It's
Yes, yeah,
unlike nothing else is really supporting it,
right.
unless you get a
But
lymphatic
one of
drainage
the things
massage.
we haven't even delved into, and we probably will on our last couple sessions, as I do a little more digging, just because you come in there, say to lose some weight or treat a bad shoulder, that red light therapy that you're doing on your shoulder or your abdomen, the benefits of that go through your entire body. It's not just now the weight loss is going to be centered to where the red light is actually focused, but the benefits that the red light does for your body, like the creation of the nitric oxide, the dilating of your blood vessels, so your blood, you're getting more blood to your extremities and things like that. That's stuff that it's a byproduct of the red light therapy.
Sure.
But it's almost as important to your functioning of your body as many other things.
Yep.
I mean, nitric oxide controls your respiratory system. So how important is that?
Just a little.
Just a little, right? So the benefits of red light therapy in and of itself, notwithstanding what you're actually trying to treat, is well and above what you're trying to treat, is my point.
This is happening in West Palm Beach. That's where you are located. That's where your facility is. How do we find out more?
westpalmwellnessclinic.com.
And you're available. I mean, this could be new for a lot of us understanding all of this. Before anybody, let's say they're in the Florida area, or so many people travel. I'm on Long Island, New York. We got direct flights from here. The airport.
I bet.
Oh my gosh. I could, if I hurl a rock, not with the bad shoulder, the other one, I could hit the airport, and they have flights every single day to West Palm. People are going all the time. If somebody has a question, can they reach out to you on the website just to learn a little bit more about all this?
Yeah, there's contact. There's also our office number, and if we're not able to answer, just leave a message. I talk to people all day. I mean, in many of the things I've done in my life, I end up being as much of a consultant as I do anything else, just trying to talk to people. I have a organic pest control product company, and people, will call me and talk to me about, well, will it work on this? Will it work on that? I say, yeah, I'm in South Florida and I got a lot of insects to try.
I'm sure all year long.
All year long.
All year long.
We don't go dormant.
WestPalmWellnessClinic.com. That's the only good part about New York. We do when it comes to the insects, at least most of them. Check it out. Thank you for all the insight today, Rick. Learned a lot, and had no idea that we could address a lot of different issues all in one session. Looking forward next time we get together.
Yes, me too.
Appreciate it. We'll be right back.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.